everyone, welcome back to another exciting episode of Authors of BriPublish. Uh, we have met all kind of authors, young authors so far, folks who have been studying philosophy, folks who've been studying art. It's the first time I am having a guest on my podcast who is pursuing her MBA, an MBA from the XLRI Jamshedpur. I have Anshi here, Anshi with me on the podcast, and unlike other authors, Anshi actually went on to write a book which is basically a compilation of short stories, and her book's title is Without a Good Night's Sleep. So, Anshi, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
How are you doing today? How is it? Is it exciting to be part of a podcast?
Yes, especially since this is the first time I am on the interviewees end. Usually we would be the ones, the students, doing interviews for other people.
Exciting, eh? Exciting. Good, good, good. But to be honest, very well deserved. So let me start with a very heartfelt congratulations. This is indeed an amazing achievement to have. Uh, so what I know about your book is that it's a culmination of short stories. But before that, Anshi, why don't you let our audience know a bit more about the boring introduction that I did, which was a first year MBA student from XLRI. Let them know a bit more about you.
Right. Other than the MBA, I am also an avid reader. I've been reading since class 3, I guess.
Wow.
And that really snowballed into me writing an actual book despite the curriculum and the rigorousness of an MBA. I am from Patna and I've moved around India, lived in like around 7 cities, currently based out of Jamshedpur. Other than writing fiction, I am also a blogger. So I blog about economics. That's my background. That is the training that I received in my undergraduate college. So there have been spans of me writing over time, either non-fiction or maybe ghostwriting, scripting, debating, and for that, speeches. But this was a very huge endeavor. This was the first time for me to take up an entire novel and to execute it while I'm doing my MBA.
There must have been two very distinct moments that you'll probably remember, right? One would probably be the time when you went on to complete the book and click on publish. The other moment must have been the time you actually got the printed copy of your published book, right? Can you recall those two moments?
I'll say the two moments that you mentioned, yes, but the bigger moment for me was when my parents got their copies of my book and they clicked the photo and shared it. That was a bigger moment for me. When I received my book, it did feel surreal that I have written this. But when I saw it in the hands of my friends and my family members, who not only ordered it without me even talking about it, all I did is send them the link. The moment I had hit publish and told them that this is a book that I wrote, I did not tell you guys that I'm going to write one. Do with it what you will. And the instant reaction, the happiness, it was a very joyful moment.
Yeah. I'd love to dig deeper into the reaction of your parents. So, who was more excited, mummy or papa? कौन ज़्यादा खुश थे?
Both of them. Both of them. My father is also an avid reader.
Wow.
So he is currently reading the book. And my mother, I remember her text. It was, "Now I'm the mother of an author as well."
Wow.
That
Wow.
text is,
Yeah.
I wanted to see that.
As you say it gives me goosebumps because it must be a very emotional moment when your parent texts you something like this, that I'm now the mother of a published author. Amazing, yeah. I mean, I don't think there would be many other moments in life that would probably replace this. I hope there are many more, but this is just so amazing, yeah. Great. Great. And what about friends and other folks in the family? What was their reaction?
A shock at first that how did you finish a book and how did we not know about it? I had kept this entire project under wraps. I was not very confident in what I was doing, whether I'll be able to execute it. And I thought when I'll hit the publish button, then I'll talk about it. My friends, God bless them, they are really an extension of my family. Not only did they get the copies for themselves, their siblings got it for themselves. And so even now I'm receiving these photographs of snippets that they read and
Mhm.
they liked it and they want to share it that, okay, this is a very touching thing that you've written or this was very well articulated. It is really encouraging. Also, they are working as my proxy editors. So that is another fun bit that I'm looking forward to.
So,
Uh,
I can, sorry, I can actually see Anshi Pandey as a best-selling author already, right? That's how I look at it. Hey, sorry, you're saying something.
yeah, for me, though, the most precious reaction was from my younger brother. I basically forced the habit of reading on him. Every
Mhm.
birthday, I will give him a book. After a certain point, you will start reading them.
Of course.
And he said that, so he did not take his copy yet. Instead, he said that the next birthday that's coming up, you know what to gift me now.
Can we name him? What does he do? What's his name?
He is 9 years younger than me, Vaibhav, and he is currently in class 8.
Okay. Actually, uh, we have another platform, another sister concerned platform called the BriBooks, which actually is one
Hmm.
of the largest platforms for school kids to write. So maybe someday he can try his hands on it. We can always pick that up. Great. Now let's actually deep dive into the book itself, right? So one question I was curious about your book from a perspective of the structure itself. Typically, authors would pick up one storyline and sort of build on that, work on it. Why not follow that as a conventional structure? And when I was reading it, I realized that this is essentially a series of thoughts that has been culminating in your head, which you finally decided to jot down, right? So the first one, why choose a series of short stories and not build on one larger storyline as a concept?
Yeah. Uh, I'll say for me, writing is an art form, right? You are expressing something. All of these thoughts that I had, I- maybe it is my inability or my me being a novice, but I did not find myself being able to do justice to everything that I wanted to put in a book through a single book. The interesting part about this book is that this was something in making from a very young age. Uh, Most of these stories are things that I have dreamt, things that I have thought, and things that I have journaled about. So all I did was pick up my journal, uh, uh, throw all the ideas that I did want my first book to have so that I can showcase my ability, but
Mhm.
I can also send a broader message across. And therefore, I narrowed down on short stories. And in fact, you'll notice the book's outline is also rather unique. The book itself is divided into two parts. There are short stories in form of chapters,
Yeah,
and there is this bulk of a chapter with multiple short stories.
yeah.
All of it was intentional because there is a certain ethos that I want to create for my reader. Like, this is my mindset when I was reading it. Can you try to enter into something similar when you are reading my words? So that was the rationale.
Great, yeah. For others who are watching this, right? Think of it. So, and she actually had a plethora of ideas which were there in the form of thoughts in her head, in the form of written journals, and
Hmm.
obviously it takes a lot of courage and perseverance to start writing. But here it is, right? You are meeting a published author who went on to transform a culmination of thought, a chain of thought into a book which now you guys are reading. If you're not already reading, you can always pick up a copy. We'll probably ask the editor to put in the description in the link in the description part, or maybe put in the comment box if this goes on Instagram. Uh, what do you think about your storyline around the staircase? That's very interesting, right? What was the inspiration, or again, walk us through the staircase once,
Yeah.
literally.
So that is, I think, the most jarring of the stories that I have written.
Mm-hmm.
One that was really hard to articulate as well. It is a serious topic.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so when you live in multiple cities in India, one common reality that a woman would face is staying out at night,
Okay.
being unsafe, feeling that someone is watching you. And what happened is that I had been, so we are taught about all of this in social sciences, we read about it in newspapers. I had all these thoughts around how can you portray the discomfort you feel as a woman
Mm-hmm.
for someone who has not experienced something like this. The story starts off with myself going into a abandoned building, something that I would never do consciously,
Okay.
and seeing my younger self in a very secure and safe environment.
Mm-hmm.
The tussle that I'm facing is that this place itself is dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
While my younger self is in a safe environment, do I tell my younger self that she is unsafe? Because then I am taking away some part of her innocence. I'm making her exposed to a reality that, yes, exists, but now it will be consciously in her mind all the time. There is a small excerpt from there where
Mm-hmm.
I mentioned that these types of abandoned buildings, when I was in, say, grade sixth or seventh, myself and my friends would go inside these buildings to play ghost stories and, just have fun. Because abandoned buildings are cool when you're a child. And then all of a sudden, you've been told that something bad can happen to you, someone bad will do something to you if you go to venture into say dark places or into something that is not monitored. You took away the whimsy from something,
Mm-hmm.
and it was for my welfare that you did it, but something from me also got stolen when I found out about this. Now I was thinking how my mother would warn me, don't go on certain roads, stay where the street lights are, stay where there is a crowd. And I would hate her for it for a very long time, that why are you putting these restrictions on me? And then when I grew up, I realized this is a tussle that she faced. She had to do it. This is the reality that we live in. And that is what the staircase represents.
You know, one of the things that we don't realize often is that uh, it can be so much more harder for a young adult, somebody at your age, to actually reflect on on scenarios that were a happy place for you, and then how, because uh, the place around us, the people around us, the social structure around us go on to convert that happy place into something that might not be a happy place ever again, right? Takes a lot of courage, Anshi. Actually, takes a lot of courage to talk about this. And by the way, very well articulated. Something that is, uh, I would say, uh, I can't say it's very simplified, because this as a topic is pretty gray at a lot of levels, but it's also something that a lot of women would relate to, right? I'm sure when other girls are reading this, they would probably have their own set of abandoned buildings and their own set of staircases which they might relate to.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. So, any other storyline that you'd love your audience to to actually read, and you think that would be fun for them to read?
Fun, I am not sure of. because there are some serious topics discussed in it. But there is one story that again is really close to my heart, and I think this would apply to a lot of young adults.
Mm-hmm.
So the name of the story is The Rotting Figs. It's a thing that I picked up from Sylvia Plath's work, and what the story is about is that you live through so many things, so many achievements you are able to have. There are talents that you develop, and then at the end of it, you are confused about what to do in life. So oftentimes we are very hard on ourselves. We are very hard on ourselves regarding we don't have a charted career path, we don't have everything planned out down to the minute details. And in that story, there is someone who comes in to talk to you about what you have done to get inspiration and learning, despite the fact that you are hard on yourself and assuming that you are not good enough. There is someone who has something to learn from you. That was a very appreciative story, I felt. And it was a message. Really, it comes from the fact that I'm doing an MBA. Over here around me, there are a lot of people who are extremely hard on themselves. Say an exam goes wrong, or say you are not that decided about what you want to do. There's a magnitude of things that can happen. And the story is, it's a reminder that it's okay. There is something of worth in the fact that you've existed and lived through these experiences. It is not necessary that you will have everything planned and charted out. And the tonality of the story also changes accordingly. I'm extremely critical in the beginning, but by the end, I have become hopeful. I have become more open and warm. And that was, I think that is one of the most beautiful stories because I have put it in the context of a career fair that's happening. I do hope any young adult who reads it, and in fact, anyone who's still trying to figure out their life at whatever age that they are at, they find some comfort in the story.
Almost always, uh, uh, we growing up, we are always uh, in a fix, or we are torn apart. Our emotions are torn apart between what we want to do, what's our passion, and what is it that's socially acceptable as a career, right? And it's so true, especially for us in the so-called middle class or neo middle class of India. So good. I really hope that the audience would relate to this, and I'm sure a lot of the young ones who are either in the process of traveling between their high school to their college or their college to a job, that journey that they are in the process of taking, this would be I'm sure this would be something that they would love to pick up. So guys who are watching this, you know, if not for anything, pick this up for the story around the rotting figs, right? Must be amazing. That reminds me of a book that I typically go back to. I call it my Bible. It's a book by a gentleman called Ben Horowitz, still alive. He wrote a book called The Hard Thing About Hard Things. The Hard Thing About Hard Things. It's basically his journey from the time he started his first job till date. He's a venture capitalist, come entrepreneur, again advisor, and so on. Right. So it's a great book. I think the rotting fig is something that fixes something that a lot of your age and as I said, probably I can call them kids, but yeah, kids who are migrating between school to college and beyond would love to associate with. This was such a heartwarming conversation, Anshi. Just loved it. I really hope you write a lot more. The pen doesn't stop. The virtual pen doesn't stop, and we get to see a lot many of these short stories coming out of your account, your BriPublish account, or any other platform that you use. Thank you so much. This was lovely talking to you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me and for all the support that BriPublish has given me. I really appreciate that. I think it's a great venture. And anyone who is going to buy a book, Do venture into writing one as well. They've made it very easy for up and coming authors.
Perfect. Thanks so much for the kind words. I would pass on the feedback to the team. Thanks again, Anshi. Thank you so much.